Do you have any?
I just held him a fart.
Held in one.
I held him for you, dude.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're rolling. I did have a question.
Okay.
I think we were talking about before. So I'm on Instagram yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that I won't name names. He used to be a good friend, though. I'd say he's an acquaintance, if I would use that term loosely, right? He got a puppy. Very cute puppy. I think it's a cool thing when people get a puppy and they share. It's like, oh, he's so cute. But they made an Instagram for it like the day they got it, Mm-hmm. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I understand like people make Instagram for their dogs, but the day you get it, number one, and number two, kind of lead into my question. What's your thoughts on making an Instagram for your pet? Because you have a pet. You don't have an Instagram for Curtis, which is your dog.
Right.
And I'm curious to hear, your take on that or what you think about that.
I don't see anything negative against it.
Okay.
But it means that you have some time on your hands.
Yeah.
That's what that definitely means. Because to be honest, I might have an Instagram account for Curtis if I didn't have to control my art account. Because I have two accounts with that. Like, I have my personal account and my art account. And what am I going to do? Just have a third account?
Right.
I'm never even on my personal one anyway. I'm always on my art one. But I wouldn't see, for me personally, I just wouldn't see the point in making my dog a Instagram because I have better things to do with my time.
Yeah, it's like watch me get a dog and like make one for him the day I get it.
Yeah.
No, I just thought it's interesting because like everyone has one now. It's almost like if you have a cute dog, it's like, oh, like does he have an Instagram? No,
yeah,
he
I
doesn't.
never until you asked me though. I never really thought anything of it. So if someone told me, oh, Dorothy, my dog has a, I made her Instagram. I'd say, oh, that's funny. I'll follow her, right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't think anything of it, but since you asked me, I mean, now that it definitely means you have some time on your hands.
Dorothy sounds like a white poodle name.
Phoebe is a good name for a female dog. That if I have a female dog, which I will one day at some point, Phoebe is probably the name.
I've never had a female dog.
Yeah,
always been a male.
They do get periods.
I know. I didn't know. Dude, when someone told me that,
I thought
they fucking bleed.
Yeah, right.
I thought they were kidding.
Me too. Yeah.
And I laughed. They're like, no, seriously, like they get spayed though. But when a female dog gets spayed, it's way more of a process than when a male does, and they get just real fucking like you know how male dogs just have the cone over their head, and I think females do.
Yeah.
But they just look real sad and they're just kind of quiet.
Yeah,
female dogs are like
right.
fucking bitchy, like on edge and like
Ooh.
Yeah, barky.
Their hormones are out of whack.
Yeah, for real, dude. For real.
Yeah, because I have some buddies with a female dog, and when it's not every month though. It's not every month like a human is. It's once every like few months or something, and she wears a diaper.
No way.
Yeah, so
they have doggy diapers for periods.
Yeah, and it's really funny just to see a little pit bull just walk around with a diaper.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I knew they had that, but I didn't know they wore diapers too.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild.
Interesting stuff, man. I wonder if any other animals get their periods. You should look that up.
Yeah, that's a good question. I guarantee you, because what animal? Like this is I'm gonna sound fucking stupid. Like, what's a dog? Is a dog like it's a mammal? Is it a mammal?
A canine.
Yeah, but like
I don't know. No.
Wow, we're gonna sound so dumb right now.
A mammal is one.
Every dog is a mammal. Yeah, I think it's with the fur. There's like certain characteristics. Like one's like having fur. The only mammal that doesn't have fur is a fucking orca, I think.
Oh, okay.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
But you're able to they have regular babies like in terms of like out of the vagina. They don't like lay eggs and shit. Like reptiles lay eggs.
Right.
I learned all this in 6th grade. I remember. Shout out Miss Morrison. You had a really big ass, but you weren't good looking.
You said miss, but I thought you said mister, and I know you didn't say mister because of the shouting out the ass part.
Maybe there is a Mr. Morrison. All right, so what was I looking
up? Where at my high school there was a Mr. Morrison.
Do animals have periods? Yeah, the only animals that masturbate are elephants, shrews, and certain pets. That's what popped up.
What's a shrew?
A shrew's like a little fucking mouse-looking thing.
And they J.O.?
Yeah, they do. They J.O. shit.
Wait, an elephant's J.O.? How do they J.O.?
Oh, no, it says menstruate. Fuck, I thought it said masturbate. That's where my mind goes. Yeah, it says apart from humans and our close relatives, the only animals that menstruate are elephant, shrews, and certain bats.
What's
but also
menstruate?
Dogs. Most dogs come in heat sweats. Yeah, so like female dogs do too. But
Oh, so menstruate means your vagina bleeds.
yes, menstruate.
So I take it that wolves and stuff, their vaginas bleed when they're females.
But it's like, dude, all this shit's coming out is like,
And not pregnant.
Do cows have periods? It says some cows and most. What's a heifer?
I don't know.
Have
but
bloody mucus discharge. That just sounds disgusting.
I would think chimpanzees, right? They must get periods. They're so similar to people.
Dude, chimps have periods. Fucking. We gotta look up, like, after, like, the podcast for, like, 2 months, we just look up the Google history of all the shit that we Googled. Most monkeys live in Africa and Asia, such as some crazy shit menstruate. Yeah, so, like, they do.
Right.
They do.
Fascinating. Yeah, I mean.
So, definitely a lot of animals do have their periods, so, like, that's fucked.
Right. I mean, so I learned also, like, in 6th grade, but not in school, by someone who told me that when a girl has her period, it's because there's no like sperm to fertilize it.
Really?
Yeah, like because when you know how if you're pregnant, like you don't get your period.
Yes.
It's the sperm is doing something to it.
Fucking that egg.
Yeah, yeah, and then think of what does fertilize mean? Fertilize means come to life, right?
Yeah, I think fertilize just means fucking like.
Was that like real dumb?
Fertilize means come to life. I don't know. It's like when you fertilize the crops, it's like you fucking
make them come to life. That's what I thought of.
You're putting things in them to make them come to life. You're not making them come to life per se.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna put fertilizer on the fucking lawn. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's wild though? Speaking of fucking periods and giving birth and all that stuff, you know what animal that's a male that gives birth instead of the female?
Don't tell me I don't. Seahorse.
Yes.
Yep.
Fucking let's go. Isn't a seahorse a crazy ass animal?
Yeah. It's interesting. Can you have those as pets? That'd be a cool pet.
I
want a saltwater tank.
How big is a seahorse?
Not big. I've seen them before. They're not like.
Oh, you've seen them?
Oh yeah. They're not. I think I have.
They go 14 inches long. It's like a foot. You could probably have that.
Oh, to be honest, I picture them small. Maybe I haven't seen a seahorse.
14 inches is like a foot and 2 inches. Isn't it weird when we look up like the length of things? And because we're in the U.S., I think it's based on geographic location, obviously, like IP address, that it's automatically in feet and inches and shit. But if you were Googling that,
right,
it'd be in the metric system.
Kilometers, right?
We're the only one that just doesn't do the metric system.
Right.
We just said fuck that.
Yeah, and we also are the only ones that. If it's past noon and it's 1 p.m. here, but elsewhere it's 13 o'clock.
Oh, like military time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're the only people that don't. Do
oh
that,
my
really.
god, dude. So when I was working my last job, I had a bunch of different foreign territories. Like Netherlands was one, England, and they would first of all always use military time, and then I never forget. I would get an email be like, "Oh, sorry, like I'm unavailable. I'm available the 36th week." At 2300, and I'm like, what? Yes, that's what I said. And I'm like, what the fuck is 36th week? And then we're literally using how many weeks are in the year. They were using like the yearly calendar by week. So I had to fucking look up what's the 36th week of the year of 2020. And it was like, oh, like really? June 14th. Wow. Yeah, and I'm like, I've never fucking heard that.
They also, how we say if it's May 22nd, 2020, they say 22nd May 2020.
Yeah, they said some weird
something
shit.
like that. And
but I've never heard that fucking week one before.
Centimeters too. They go by like center. They don't
That's
go
the
by
metric system.
Yeah, they don't go by feet and stuff. Because so this in America, this painting is a 30 by 40 inch painting. But like when I look at other art, I've seen other artists from elsewhere, and they'll post it'll be this size, but they'll say like 170 centimeters, or
yeah,
well, I don't know what that is converted, but it's a lot more than 30 and 40.
Yeah, I remember like taking that in grade school. You had to do the conversions, right? Like what centimeters to inches and all that stuff. That was like on a math quiz or shit like that. Do you remember doing that at all?
Barely. I know for a fact that if you put me in like a I'll say 7, I'll give myself the benefit of the doubt, 7th grade math class right now, I might fail it.
You think so?
Well,
you'd fail it.
Well, listen,
1 foot's 30 centimeters.
So I would not fail it, right? But I was working with 7th graders when I was working at the school, and what I would do is so put it this way, their math, like I had to basically tell them like, look, Mr. Lucy's learning this shit too.
You said that?
I said it. I didn't use the word shit, but I did say Mr. Lucy's learning this too. So I'm gonna help you.
I'm relearning this.
I was basically like, because it was with this one kid, because I worked in Pathways and like, which essentially is like
problem children.
Right, and then mainstream class. You know, as they're getting older, you try to get them into like the mainstream classes.
That's the goal.
Right, and so he was in math, and I was basically like, look, dude, like I don't know this stuff either, so I'm definitely gonna help you, but you gotta help me help you. I remember saying that to him, like something along the lines. And dude, it was hard. Like I had to like go ask
fractions and shit.
Yeah, it was. It was. Fractions always fucked with me.
I hated fractions.
Always fucked with me, and it was some algebra stuff too. Like, and I would have to like go to the teacher like and ask him questions. I would say, can you know when you go into class and you have a do now?
Yeah.
I would do the do now and like go up to him after like, hey, so is this right? You know, and he'd be like, oh, I'd get it wrong a lot.
Oh fuck.
But he'd explain it and I get it. But then the next week we're on to something new and I'd be lost, dude. Math is just one of those topics with me. It always is like fucked with me, but mainly because I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I don't give it a chance. You know.
Yeah,
I
remember
mean?
we talked about that. You were just like, fuck math.
Yeah, I don't give it a chance because I fucking hate it. You need to learn you need to know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide.
Arithmetic. Basic arithmetic.
Yes, that's what you need to know. Other than that, you're good.
You know what I was thinking about the other day, and I was like, damn, when I have kids, if I have kids, I'll throw that out there, and they're in school, first of all, are they going to be learning what I learned as a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the history books are probably going to be way different. But at the same time, like, are they going to be learning the same way? Because I think long division now is like way different than the way we learned.
You're right. You're absolutely correct.
And like multiplication is probably way different.
You're absolutely
correct. And they're going to show me, and I'm going to be like, what the fuck is this? No, do it this way. And they're going to go to the teacher and be like, no, this is the way I can do it. Because that's what happened to me with my parents, too. They were like, oh, I did it this way when I was a kid.
Multiplying stuff, too. Like how we learn how to carry the stuff.
You don't do that anymore?
Well, they do it, but differently. And there's like a different way that like I didn't get because I know my way works.
Right.
But when I was working there, I did. They just don't. They are learning things in a new way. Not everything, but a lot of things.
Why though?
They don't learn cursive anymore. They don't in public schools at least. I used to have to write cursive in third grade.
I was learning cursive in 2nd grade. I remember that.
Yep. Cursive was also something I never lost. Like I know how to write it. I can write the shit out of cursive. Like
isn't it weird? I haven't wrote cursive in no bullshit, probably over like fucking 15 years, and I could still write in cursive.
Me too.
It would take me longer. I couldn't be like as fast as I could print, but I could still write it.
Yeah, me too.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Because that's how we do signatures too.
Right. Yeah. Technically, I mean, you could print your name and that could be your signature, right? If you
That'd
like
be a dog shit signature though.
Right.
Because anyone could forge it. That's really why people do some crazy ass shit. Because like you could just forge James Murphy and be like, you signed it. It's the same way you signed it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. My signature's not that good.
I like my signature.
You're a fucking artist.
Yeah. If people should come to me, if someone has a bad signature, they should come to me and be like, hey man, can you write my name in cursive? And like I could give people a really nasty signature.
See, I like the ones that have like the first, like mine, it's okay. I have like a big J and then kind of like some scribbles and then like a big M and then some scribbles. You know, can't really decipher it. You can't tell it's James Murphy, but if you looked at it abstractly, might be James Murphy. It's not clearly like James and like nice cursive Murphy. You know what I'm saying?
You can make a J look cool.
Really?
Yeah, it's a cool letter.
It is a cool letter.
Yeah, I my buddy's name's Cody Mercier, and I've shown him what I would use for his signature if I had his name, and it's so nasty. That's all that story is. You're welcome.
Dude, I just remember trying to do a signature in grade school, and I would fucking... Because, you know, your goal is to like try to get the same one every time. And I would just try to do it. I'm like, yeah, I'm practicing for my autograph and I'm going to be famous one day.
Yeah, I used to do the same thing.
Obviously, and just like couldn't really get it the same a lot of times. Now it's like pretty the same.
Yeah.
I don't overthink it. I just fucking sign the paper. But
How many times do you think you've written your signature?
in my life, like including the times I was practicing as a child, or
Was
just
it the same signature? I mean, my signature's kind of been edited since.
No, same. So like on documents, I'd say probably
Like yours right now. How many times? Not on documents even. Just if you take a piece of paper and practice. I do that like a lot. Like I'll just take a piece of paper and just fucking write my signature.
I'd say
over
800.
and over. That's it?
Probably. I don't fucking sign my name on pieces of paper randomly. Like it's like
I do it all the
if
time.
I'm going to the bank, I'm signing documents. If I'm doing a receipt thing at a restaurant, at a restaurant, I forgot how many times I've signed. Maybe I'm gonna say 1,100 now. I'm gonna up by 300. What about you?
Actually, like 15,000.
Jesus.
It's regular for me that if I'm like if we were on the phone right now and I had a piece of paper and a pen, I would just be writing my signature nonstop. I just fucking do it for some reason.
Well, like I said, you're the artist. You're used to doing a lot on paintings as well. It's got a burp. So I mean, that's probably why it's up to 15,000. But
I don't know if it's 15,000, but it's a lot of fucking signatures. Like it's a lot.
That is a shit ton.
A lot. Yeah. You weren't. You're not feeling the Lord Hobos.
I'm a Bud Light guy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll drink IPAs if I'm going to like a brewery or like if we're going to night shift or if we're going to what's the one in Malden Faces. Faces is unreal. Mm-hmm. I'll drink an IPA then, but if I'm having beers on a podcast or having beers watching a game, I'll just do Bud Lights or Michelob Ultras.
Me and my lady just kind of came to the conclusion one day that like we just fuck Bud Lights. We had like 6 at dinner one night. We weren't feeling anything.
You have to chug them,
right? And
which I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't like chugging. I'm real bad. I'm a girl when it comes to chugging.
Yeah,
I'm a fucking female when it comes to chugging.
You really are, dude.
I know.
I'll give you that.
But if I'm in a scenario where I have to, which I know that sounds crazy, but when I worked at Prince Pizza, I worked at the beverage counter, right, back in the day.
Like the alcohol counter?
There was alcohol served there, but it was all
like,
beverages.
like
all beverages, right.
Yeah.
So basically, like, say if you went and got and ordered, I would get, like, a receipt back there, and, like, I would just get the drinks ready and bring them to you. And, where was I going with that?
It was like the Bud Light chugging.
Thank you. So what I had this thing where, so if you get like a soda or something, those cups, right?
Yes.
I had those, and I also had taps like Bud Light, Yingling, whatever.
Yingling.
Taps.
I like Yingling.
Yeah, and I would just like on nights that were slow, I would just when no one was back there, I would just pour some in that. And if anyone was looking at me, we were allowed to drink the fountain drinks, so it would look like I'm just drinking a fountain drink, but it's really beer. And a lot of times there was this certain person working there that I didn't want to
see you chug a beer.
Yeah, so out of everybody, there was this one in particular.
Was he like your boss?
It was a she, and she was like, she wasn't my boss, but she was like the middleman of the boss and me.
Like she could somehow get you in trouble.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She could.
Yeah.
She could fire me easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she would have. That's the thing is she
she
wasn't.
Was a bitch?
I mean, like she was just like she took her job real serious.
She's part of the not fucking around crew. Put it that way.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly it. And literally, I mean, I would have a whole cup, and if she was coming towards me, I would just find a way to chug. And if you're listening, I can't chug for shit.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen you in
that's the whole
action.
point. Yeah,
that lady at Pizza was chirping the fuck out of you when we were on mushrooms.
Yeah, little did she know.
It made it way more funnier.
Yeah. Yeah, she was calling me a bitch.
She literally called you. She said the B word at the end.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, don't worry, guys. This is just me calling him a bitch." I was like, "Jesus, lady."
Which is hilarious.
We're your only customers.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. No, she's funny.
No, they're good shits.
Fucking
but that's funny.
Chugging, I just can't do it, man.
Is Prince Pizza still like going right now?
Yeah, Prince Pizza's actually a good spot.
I haven't been there fucking since the last time we went.
They have comedy shows.
Yeah, with COVID and shit though.
Yeah, outside. It's outside.
Oh, right.
And the food's good. The pizza's overrated, but the food in general is good.
Oh, they have good food. I was gonna say, like, what did you get there?
They do.
Pizza?
They actually do have really good food, and that's like the one place I've worked. I've worked in like a good amount of restaurants, from back in the day, and like I would lose like my appetite to ever eat there again, if that makes sense. Like I would never want after working there and seeing behind the scenes, it's just kind of gross or
Yeah.
something. But Prince is the one place that I still
Would eat.
and it tastes really fucking good.
And for those of you locals or non-locals that are listening, it's on the Prince Pizza's on Route 1. It's with that like little tower of
Yeah,
leaning
this is
tower.
a paid advertisement. Fuck them.
But it's like it's like that leaning tower.
It's
right?
it is a leaning tower. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it is on Route 1.
Yeah.
And I haven't been there since we went there, which was fucking maybe 3-4 years ago.
It's a place that you either go to a lot. Let's move on to something, because if they don't know what Prince Pizza is, they don't want to fucking hear it. But it's this place. It's a place that you either go to all the time or you never go to ever. Once every 5 years.
I'm that person.
Yeah, I was that person until I worked there. And I don't go there all the time, but like I go there probably like once.
You know what place I miss?
Once a month.
Is fucking Coogan's, dude.
I miss Coogan's as well. But I also don't. Like, I don't fucking miss Coogan's. Like,
You don't?
Well, all right, so if I'm...
I miss going there with like a good crew of people. I don't like miss the place in general.
Well, I wouldn't get the dollar beers because there were a couple times where I got the dollar beers and they weren't bubbling. Like, you know when you look at a beer and it's you
those
see it
beers are
bubbling?
fucking terrible. Everyone knows that though.
Right. I just ever since then though, I just kind of avoid getting the dollar beers at Coogan's, put it that way.
Dude, yeah, but that place would just always be bumping.
Even though it's only $1. Yeah, and there's always shit going down at the end too. And
yeah, I know.
People are getting into fights, fucking security's fucking breaking shit up.
Well, if you're drinking fucking dollar beers for 5 or so hours, like
Right.
that's what I'm
yeah, dude. For $10 you can get blackout as shit.
They literally stopped. They started limiting people because when I would go there when I was in college, we'd go with a group of like 15, 20 people. We'd be getting 20 beers at a time. Like one guy would go up and get 20, next guy would go up and get 20. That was the type of place it was.
Right.
Which is fucking ridiculous if you think about it. Imagine going to a nice restaurant in the North End. Yeah, can I get 20 beers? Like, dude, they'd be like, what?
If you think about it, though, there has to be something up with that beer because the dollar beer.
They just don't clean the taps.
The dollar beer. Well, but think about it, right? Like that's a very expensive area for rent if you like have a business there and stuff.
So expensive.
And you can't be selling dollar drafts of like really good of your finest Bud Light. There's no way. It has to be like older shit that they were gonna get rid of anyway. And
but
they just,
how? Because they eventually run out. Like, think about it. If you're thinking about like supply and demand, they buy a shit ton of kegs from whatever supplier of Bud Light. They then put them in their taps and like rotate them through.
Right.
And how much Bud Light do they sell? A shit ton. They're
right,
always
but maybe they like buy a dick ton too, and it's like
like in storage or something.
yeah, because the night I had a beer there and it was like shitty, and I looked at it and it wasn't bubbling, I was like, this is not high quality.
It was just flat.
Yeah, and that is usually because it's like old.
Like a soda when
Right.
the soda's flat.
Yes, exactly. And it had to have been old or bad for whatever reason. I don't know, but there's a catch to $1 a draft if you're in that area of Boston,
Yes.
because the next closest price you can get to for Bud Light small draft like that is like legitimately $6.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if you go to Sissy K's, it's like the next cheapest, and it's like $4. I love fucking Sissy K's, dude.
Yeah, Sissy K's fucks.
I miss that place. I haven't been to the Faneuil area. No bullshit.
Since we probably went.
When did we go?
We went.
Was it last summer? Like
No, I
literally,
think it was the winter.
It was that long. Yeah, I haven't been in that long.
Right. It was.
And like I used to thrive around that area.
I met. Fuck. It was you, me, Cody. We went.
Was it at? It was the Faneuil area.
We went to Sissy K's, I think.
Oh yes.
I don't remember when it was, but
Dude, see, I love that place.
probably a year ago.
I just miss going to the fucking Faneuil area in general, just because there's so many little places that are like kind of the same around the same little area, you know?
I like that area, but my bank account doesn't.
Yeah.
So the thing is like, if you go out in that area, like you feel like for people like me, it's fun at the time for the time, but then you wake up the next morning like, God damn it!
Yeah, but dude, you could go to a Coogan's and then a Sissy K's and spend $100 less, which is not that crazy. If you're going for a night out, if you go to like a Ned Devine's in like a fucking, you know, what's another place around the area? Like I don't even know, like the Black Rose.
All
something.
of them.
Yeah, like Hennessy's is another one.
Yeah.
You're spending like 150, 200.
So much money, dude.
Minimum.
So much fucking money. Makes me want to like cry. You know, just like when you order 3 Bud Light bottles, and it's like, you know, $25, $30, and you're just giving them your. It's like I don't want to like let go of my debit card.
I know, it's the worst. And it fucks too, because depending on who you're with, a lot of times when you're buying around, I think Ned Devine's like the first place I went when I was 21 in Boston. I think, like when I was actually 21. I've been to Boston a couple of times using a friend's ID. I never had like a fake ID though. I actually did wait till I was 21, like a fucking nerd, to go out. Did you use a fake ID?
My buddy had a fake ID, and I had his extra fake ID. So I had a fake ID within a fake ID.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I remember going
worked.
to Ned Devine's for the first time, and I was like, first of all, obviously you're spending a shit ton of money. But if you're with like a group of 5, 6 people, it takes a long time to get a drink. So like, hey, I'll get this round. You get the next round. One round's like $60 or something.
Know.
And then everyone gets separated, so
you
they
know
don't get you around.
Yeah.
And then you get like 2, you know what I mean? It just adds up.
And
that happens in general, though, to everyone when they go out.
Right. And do you know how many...
And shout out to that, because that fucking shit sucks.
Do you know how many things you can get for $60 other than a fucking round? Something that happens also is people will like just buy rounds of shots, which at the end of that, it's like fucking $120.
Oh.
And the thing is like... everyone keeps getting around, and it's like, and it comes to you, and it's just like, fuck, like I didn't ask for any shots, and like people were demanding to give me one and buy me one, and it was just like, now it's like I don't want to buy, I don't have the money to fucking just blow on shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shots for like like this little bit of alcohol for everybody. I don't fucking...
Dude, some shots are like 13 bills.
Yeah. Right. I hate shots as it is. I'm not a shot guy personally. Like I'll take like certain kind of shots.
What are you, tequila?
No, like that sounds terrible. But
what would you do?
I like Jaeger bombs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, Jaeger bomb's not really a shot.
It's a shot within. It's a bit. You know.
You could chug it.
Yeah. And
Have you had an Irish car bomb? Those are pretty bomb.
I forget the other kind of shot that I do. Oh, green tea shot. That's such a female one, but whatever.
But they go down easy.
White tea shot too.
White tea? They have white tea shots?
I think that's what it was. I tried that before.
An Irish car bomb is, I think it's Bailey's, Jack Daniels inside of a Guinness.
That sounds absolutely terrible. Fuck that. I'm not gonna drink that.
Yeah, I'm not even a Guinness guy, but like I could slam those.
Guinnesses taste like beer milkshakes.
Yeah.
They taste like beer floats. Instead of a root beer float, it's a beer float.
I have a bad Guinness experience, and like I think I could drink Guinness if I'm a little buzzed too.
What happened?
Like I wasn't even old enough to drink it. I was like 19. I was like very drunk, and someone gave me a tall boy Guinness, and like I was just fucking pounding it, and it hurt. Like, you know, one of those drinks that they hurt going down. And you're doing them anyway. And I smoked weed like right after, bro.
Oh, yep. I've been there before, man.
And I was just
spinning,
and then soon projectile vomiting.
Thinking you were literally gonna die.
It was like, black. Yeah. It was black throw up because it was the Guinness. It was just the Guinness I just drank. Oh, and it was just a terrible experience. And I think it scarred me for life with the Guinness, honestly.
Yeah, no, I'm. It's crazy how certain things that have taste and smell or like sound just remind you of, or permanently remind you of something to like.
That's either good or bad. Like,
correct, very correct. And there's some songs out there that I'm like, damn, this is a fucking great song, but like, you know what? It reminds me of this bitch at that one time, or whatever the situation.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean? Whatever the fuck. And it's just like, but I'm trying to think, what is it with me that I can't have?
I can't have Guinness.
No, like so you know how you have that bad experience from Guinness, so you're just like, Guinness, fuck that.
You know, when you go to Ireland, that's literally all you can drink.
Right, and it tastes different there. Apparently.
My friend went there and he ordered a Bud Light like at the airport in Dublin because he was flying to Amsterdam. They're like, oh, like, what do you want? Whatever. That's my Irish accent. And he was like, yeah, I'll take a Bud Light, and they like literally laughed at him. They're like, yeah, you'll be drinking a Guinness. You from Boston? Because he had the Red Sox hat. He's like, yeah. And he gave him a Guinness. He's like, yeah, all right, I'll drink a Guinness, whatever. It's like that's like what they think. They think we're females if we drink Bud Light.
Right. I feel them. Yeah, I feel them.
Fuck you.
That's why I fucking drink.
Bud Light's delicious.
I drink beers with at least 5% alcohol.
Yeah, but I'll drink fucking 10 Bud Lights.
And you'll pee.
I'll pee a lot.
And it's just like, but the hangover, the thing about Bud Lights are fantastic for if you're having a day of drinking and you don't, because they're light. But if you're just like, if I'm just hanging out at night, just having a few beers, Bud Light's actually the last beer I want.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, ever since it's probably been about a year. I'd say it's been about a year.
Because you've had a Bud Light?
No.
I was like, what the fuck?
I probably had a Bud Light like 2 days ago.
I was gonna say this is like the what would you equate Bud Light to as like a non-alcoholic drink that like everyone drinks? Almost like a Diet Coke, like a Coke, right?
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, it is. And when I worked at a restaurant in Boston, and these Lord Hobos. Oh, fucking yeah! So it has been a year ago. I got that job in August, back a year ago.
The one
August.
in the Beacon Hill.
Yes, and so we've been around this time in September.
Ago?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know. And that's when I started working there.
Right.
So every night they had these Lord Hobos, and it was one of those places that it had like every beer selection.
Like a Tony C's that has like fucking everything.
Yeah, yep, exactly. And I was just loving the Lord Hobos and the IPAs in general. And every time I'd have a Bud Light, it's not the same now because.
Yeah, because you got used to that.
Yeah, and I actually just like the taste. Like, say if I'm ending the day and I want to have just a couple beers, just like 2, right? Like, I would rather have no beers than have 2 Bud Lights, but I would like to have 2 IPAs.
Right. Yeah, you love the Lord Hobos.
Yeah, and I also
that's like it goes. I like fucking really don't like them. Like I drink them,
yeah,
but like I'm not a huge fan.
So with me, right? So everyone's different, right? Obviously, but with me, I'm a slow, moderate drinker. Like I drink like moderately, like in the sense of
You do.
I don't.
Slow sipper, kind of like slow
sipper, and I drink a moderate amount. I don't drink like a little amount, and I don't drink like a lot at all. And I don't drink a lot at all. Don't. So it's like, if I'm gonna have like 4 or 5 beers, 4 or 5 IPAs sound better to me than 4 or 5 Bud Lights or Budweisers.
Yeah, 4 or 5 IPAs would fuck you up.
Right, and that's like when I have 4 Lord Hobos, dude, of the tall cans, I'm fucked up, and those are 6.
Oh, the tall ones?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'd be fucking shit-faced.
Yeah, they're 6.5, and you have to really. The thing about Bud Lights is you don't have to train your body as much to not be hungover before you go to bed, in order to not be hungover. Like IPAs, I've learned like you have to do certain things to not be hungover, or else you're gonna be brutally hungover.
Yeah, like eat, chug water.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Yeah, but I love me like 3 to 5. I love me 3 to 5 IPAs.
Not the tall ones.
Not the tall ones, no.
Yeah. I like those Angelicas. Like those were good.
These are good.
The variety pack that you have over there. What is it? It's called.
Summer Sampler. And
I like those.
You know what's funny is I actually don't like two of them.
Which ones?
I don't. So I love the Angelica. Actually, the Angelica is the entire reason why I get it.
I think that's like I like that one.
It's so good. And the Hobo Life. I like the Hobo Life. And then Freebird, I'm not. It's not my favorite. And Boom Sauce. I only had it one time and it was a while ago.
Yeah,
but
people are big fans of that.
But yeah, and the Boom Sauce, it's just really, really strong though.
It's dark. It's like a stout.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah. And I just decided to get it because I really like the Angelicas. I
don't know. I feel like if you could choose beer or weed, what would you choose?
Weed.
Like that quick?
Oh, literally that fast. Alcohol in general. Or you can't drink.
Yeah, alcohol in general or weed?
Weed. Oh, weed. 10 out of 10 times.
Really?
10 out of 10. Yeah. Well, because weed makes me chill the fuck out throughout the day, and it's not like a problem where if you drink throughout the day to chill out, you're an alcoholic.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
do you think they come up with a term for like a weed? Like if you smoke weed throughout the day,
it's
like you're a stoner, pothead, but it's like, it's like a drug problem. Like it's just like an alcohol problem if you drink throughout the day. I was thinking about this the other. the other day.
So here's the thing with weed that I've found out in the experience in doing a lot of it. If you do a lot of alcohol, right, or a lot of crack, or a lot of coke, or a lot of heroin, that affects the shit out of your life, right? Like, to the point that, like, your friends and family are, like, fucking done with you. You're, like, no one can trust you. Like, it's so much negative shit.
A lot of negative stereotypes and stigmatisms, if you will,
right?
Attached.
If you do a lot of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you're just not, you know.
I mean, if you smoke a lot of crack, you're definitely not a normal person. So
yeah, like, if someone smoked a lot of crack and you saw them, like, it wouldn't even be like hanging out with them.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is basically, like, if you're just a pothead, the only thing it's really hurting is your bank account if you can't afford a lot of it.
True.
You know what I mean?
Because it doesn't make you that much different of a person.
No, it can make you, like, I don't think, like, okay, put it this way. I think it can make it, I think it makes you lazier than you were gonna be, but also if you're gonna, like, accept doing nothing with your day because you smoked weed, you're lazy in general.
Right.
You know? And weed doesn't have this, like, crazy withdrawal, you know, where your body's just fucking, like, you know, don't get me wrong, though. Weed is addictive. I definitely think
it is, too, dude.
I fully...
Because, like I said, I stopped. I'm on, like, week 1.
Yeah. I know from being addicted to weed, like, it is addictive, like, for sure. And, just more so in the you want to know why it's addictive? Because any habit is addictive.
Yeah.
Whether it's biting your nails, yeah. Whether it's fucking anything that isn't even that bad, right?
Peeing in the shower.
Peeing in the shower, exactly.
I'm a fucking huge peeer in the shower.
Yes, oh, me too. Every time. And
if you don't, you're a liar.
Yes, exactly. And, like, I think weed becomes more of a, if you're just always stoned, you're just used to being stoned all the time. So when you're sober, I think, this is from my personal experience. I don't say this proudly either, but it's just like, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I find myself sometimes like, all right, I'm gonna smoke right now, but I realize that I don't even, like, it's not that I don't want to, but it's not that I want to either. I'm just like, oh, I'm sober now. I'm always high, so it's like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go. It's just, it feels weird to be sober after being high all day, basically.
Yeah.
And so then I go smoke weed because I'm just so used to not being sober throughout the day in the weed department, you know?
Right.
And but it's out of just, like, oh, I need, like a habit, like I said.
Dude, I kind of feel that because I remember, like, when I was working from home still, and, like, my routine was, like, go to the gym, go get, like, my coffee, and, like, I would smoke on the way to get the coffee, and come back, like, shower, whatever, like, do some work shit. And then if I was chilling, my schedule was free, I'd be like, all right, like, obviously go smoke, because, like, you're not going to be high anymore, and, like, that's your free time to do it. And then sometimes I'd be like, like, I don't really want to smoke right now. Like, I'll probably be a little bit lazier than I would have been. Right? I'll probably want to do less. So, like, should I smoke right now? And sometimes I wouldn't. And, yeah, but then I just would, even though I didn't really essentially want to. Because you said, like, it's literally just, you're just used to it, and it's like a habit, and it's a habitual fucking thing, and you just get into it. So I feel that for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's funny because when I was in high school, obviously, like, they give you the weed talk because, like, you're going through adolescence, like 14, freshman years, like, usually when you get into that shit, 14, 15 type, you know, getting into weed smoke. And they would be like, yeah, like, weed's the gateway drug. And, you know, it's like super addictive. And then you'd have, like, your friends who smoke weed. It's not addictive, dude. Like, stop smoking weed. It is and it isn't. And it is and it isn't a gateway drug. It's both. Like,
you're absolutely correct. It's like right down the middle in each of those categories.
Yeah, it really is.
Because the thing is, if you
but no one tells you that.
I know.
It's like, dude, stop being a fucking. It's like being a Democrat or a fucking Republican. Stop telling me it's this. Stop telling me it's that. It's in the middle.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Yes, I know what you mean. But especially with the gateway drug thing. The reason, if someone does hardcore drugs, right, they don't start with heroin. They start like you start with weed.
Yes.
Right? And
everyone starts with weed.
Everyone starts with weed, which is why they say it's a gateway drug. But at the same time, I've been smoking weed forever, and it's like I'm not, snorting, fucking meth and
bad
fucking
substances.
Yeah, like every day, just snorting meth, smoking meth. I'm not doing any of that shit.
Yeah.
If it was a real,
it's all about the person.
Yeah.
And a lot of other variables.
But if it was a real like gateway drug, right? Like it would. I would have been doing fucking heroin a long time ago.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
But you don't really learn that when you're in fucking. Mm-hmm. I literally learned that in fucking theology, which is hilarious that they call theology, and it's just the study of religion. But if you didn't know that, little fun fact for you.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, I just remember learning from that fucking teacher, and it's I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, stopping right now, literally the most thing that fucks with me is just the sleep.
Yeah. See,
that's the only thing.
See, that's actually the thing.
And you're a little more irritable, like cigarettes.
Yeah.
You're definitely more irritable.
When I was, I'll say what I was gonna say first. What was it? This also weed makes you like forget, which is there's every episode I'm at.
You think it does though?
Yeah.
You think that's the weed though?
I do. Yeah, I do. Absolutely. I really do.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
They don't know the long-term effects of weed. You know that.
Right.
Like they don't know because like
I know
it's not really been studied long-term. They know the short-term. It's like obviously like you make it like fucking. It's like smoking a cigarette. Running might be tougher, which is a fallacy.
It's like it is when I was dipping all the time, right? Like weed addiction is like the exact same as for me. If you're listening and you smoke cigarettes or if you dip and you don't think it's the same, like chill out. But for me, weed is the same as when I was dipping.
Like in terms of stopping, if you had to stop.
So when I, in the sense of addiction-wise, like how I felt about it,
right.
Like just wanting to do it.
Like it wasn't I don't really want to lip right now, but like I'm just gonna back
away. Exactly. Right. Yep. And with weed though, it's like you can quit and you're gonna be like more irritable. I could quit if I'm gonna be distracted. I mean, if I go on vacation and shit, right? Like I can easily go all day without smoking weed. When I'm on vacation, like I usually do for the first day at least, and then I find it. But
do you think you can stop right now for like 3 days?
Yeah, easily. But like I have no reason to.
Right.
Like when I say I'm addicted, right? Like I'm saying I'm an artist and I'm painting all day and I'm doing art all day.
Yeah.
So that made it even more so. But in general, I've been like going places and staying places and not had weed and I've been fine. Like but the sleeping thing and appetite.
Oh yeah, that's
appetite because it suppresses your appetite when you're not smoking or something. Have you found that to?
Yeah, I definitely have a little bit. Yeah. Not as much as the appetite. Definitely the fucking sleep though.
Sleep though.
And
yes.
I wasn't even like a big. I wasn't a big. Oh, like I'm about to go to sleep. I need to smoke.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't like that because if I'm high as shit, like I honestly, it's harder for me to fall asleep. I need to like smoke and then maybe like something small, watch TV for like 20 minutes, and then I'll be like fucking knocked out, right? Like, because I remember like I'd smoke a bowl and like go lay down. It's like, dude, you're so high, like you're not going to bed right now.
No, by the way, that's me too. So I love smoking weed and going to bed. I love getting so fucking stoned and going to bed, right?
Yes.
But when I do that at the beginning of the high, I'm not going to bed.
Yeah,
no matter how tired I am. And by the way, little fun fact about me. When I am super stoned and my body is like naturally fucking exhausted, I get sleep paralysis real bad.
Really?
Yeah. But I'll come back.
So
remind me. I'll come back to that.
That's
that's a trigger. That's actually a particular trigger. But
is it?
It did for me. Like it is. Yeah. I'll tell you about that. But fuck.
Oh, the weed?
I'm not even fucking around. I don't remember. What was I saying? Fuck.
When you said you get super stoned and then you go to bed.
Oh. It's burning out that makes me tired. So I think like I think in general when people say like they like smoking weed before going to bed, I've heard so many people, and I concur with this statement, is when I'm really high I like can't go to bed. But when you're coming down and you're not and you're like and you've just been staring at a screen right, watching a movie or a TV show or something, right, for like an hour, and you're stoned, you're gonna go to bed. You're gonna have no problem going to bed. But that first hour is like usually like, okay, so you want to like.
Let me say something real quick. But dude, you know what was interesting for me? Like when I would just. This was more so when I was like really big into weed and like smoking blunts and shit. And if you're not doing anything, like if it was like a Sunday or something, just sitting in your ass watching football, like smoking a shit ton of weed, I would get so fucking burnt out the next morning. Like I would know, like damn, like I smoked a lot of weed last night. Like I would sleep in later. Has that ever happened to you? Like where like you'd sleep in later and the next morning, I'm like damn, like I feel it in my body that like I didn't do shit yesterday, but just smoked a shit ton of weed. Like that's what I would feel the next morning, kind of, and then you kind of get out of it a little bit, but it just you feel like more groggy.
So yeah, pretty much. Okay, so were you done? I don't want to.
Yeah,
like,
I'm done.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't want to like interfere.
No. That was it. That was the point.
Every morning, like I wake. But so
you wake up early.
Recently, it's funny that you bring that up because very recently, I've been like finding myself waking up and just like super groggy, like
that's
just,
why
just tired. You know what I mean? And not like when I say groggy, I don't mean like grumpy or anything.
You
like,
just I know what you're saying.
I'm just like, oh, dude, I could easily keep my eyes closed, and not go to sleep for the next hour, if that makes any sense. And I don't want to get up, and like getting up is just like, oh, dude, this is fucking.
You can just melt into your bed and pillow.
But what I want to know is if it's the weed, or I'm really bad with eating before I go to bed and drinking water. Like
it's the weed.
Yeah, but eating before you go to bed.
But it might be you.
Eating before you go to bed, though, is really shitty for you.
But it might be your body, too.
So, eat a bunch of Doritos before you go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, see how you feel the next morning.
No,
like,
for sure.
It's like, I don't do that, but like, I could do that. Like, I'm saying, like, I do things like that. You know, I eat, like, Cheez-Its, or I'll fucking, like...
Oh, I've done that.
And so I, like, find myself... But I find myself, if I don't do that, I wake up the next morning perfectly fine. So I wonder if it's the weed.
Do a case study.
Right.
Do it.
Right.
What was the thing that you were going to tell me, though, about the fucking... the sleep paralysis? When
I'm really, really...
Which is wild that you get that, because I get that maybe... No bullshit, maybe, like, once every 6 months.
Okay, yeah.
Like, maybe.
That used to be me. Yeah, and I got it more consistently. But I've learned the triggers. Like, I've definitely learned the triggers, and I know how to beat them, if that makes sense. Like, I know how, like...
It intrigues the fuck out of me, honestly.
Yeah, so with the sleep paralysis, with weed, if I'm stoned and I'm going to bed, there's a lot of times where I can tell that my body is, in my brain, is like so ready for bed. Like, so fucking ready. But I'm stoned, and my brain's not done working. Like, it's just going.
So your body's done, but your brain isn't. They're, like, on different pages.
And so that's where the sleep paralysis kind of comes. I think, I'm not a fucking expert, but, like, I think that's where it comes into play, why I have it, you know, because that's when you're stuck in between two stages or something. So, right. But when I get sleep paralysis from weed, right, like, I'm talking, like, I lay down, close my eyes. You know when you close your eyes for the first, like, 2 minutes and you're still awake, but then you eventually go to sleep?
Yes, which is weird, yeah.
I close my eyes within the first minute. When I'm awake the entire time, I can't move.
What?
And it's like, and I didn't fall asleep. I didn't even fall asleep.
Your eyes open?
No, they're closed. But, so, put it this way. Imagine, like, going back, like, going to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And then just being like, oh, shit. Fuck, no, it's coming. No, open your eyes. Oh, fuck. Okay, it's happening.
How long is it like that?
So, do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Do you follow?
Kind of. I can follow the example.
But, you know, sometimes I'm not sleeping even, and it just, like, happens when I close my eyes. It's fucking move. Weird, dude. And specifically when I'm high. And, would you ask?
And you can't move.
Right. And how long does it happen? I've learned that if I try to move my legs, it's quicker.
Like how, like, time-wise, like second, minutes?
8 seconds on average, I'd say.
Damn, that's wild.
Yeah, and then there's some nights where it's like, where it happens more, but when it happens a lot is if I'm overtired.
Right.
Happens like a motherfucker.
Burnt out like a motherfucker.
If I'm just overtired from if I got 3 hours of sleep the night before and I went all day
like
and
a
it's
vacation
fucking
type deal or something.
and it's 11 at night and I'm about to go to sleep, like I get it real bad.
Damn.
And those just keep coming. It's fucking.
I'm gonna keep track of it if I get overtired. I'm actually going to Vegas in October.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
With COVID, so should be really fun. But I've never had it, and I can't keep track of like when I've had it and when I haven't. But sleep paralysis is fucking. It's wild. I've had it a couple times, and it's a crazy ass experience, dude.
It's scary. Yeah.
And I think I've had it like during dreams too. Does that happen to you? Like I've been in a dream straight up and like realized like I've been awake and like I can't move. Like my eyes are open.
Imagine if you're laying down with your eyes closed, okay?
Yeah.
And you can't move, right? That's what happens with me, and my eyes aren't open, right? And so if you're laying down with your eyes just closed and you're not asleep, you're very aware that you're awake.
Yes.
Imagine that feeling, okay?
Okay.
I've had dreams where I'm having sleep paralysis, but it's almost like a hybrid of like a dream where I'm also not dreaming at all. And I'll think my mom came in my room or something and was just like, "Hey Adam, I just gotta move your car real quick," and something. And I'm the most convinced ever that I'm consciously there, and I just heard my mom say that to me. And then I'll like fucking just I'll get up and like she wasn't there.
Me. That's more me.
And,
I've had experiences like that.
And I've had other ones where someone was in my room and all of a sudden I hear like
that's
just
scary.
Running around. Oh my god, it gets fucking weird. And then because I'm also consciously awake at the same time, somewhat. And I think because they say I don't even know who they is, but they say that
experts. We just prefer to experts.
An expert's not going to say what I'm about to say,
oh.
But they say whoever they are is that it's like a spirit on top of you at night.
What?
I heard that before.
Wikipedia experts?
Yeah, like some spirituals, whatever. Like it's just like a spirit that's on you. And then but then I started thinking to myself, what the fuck? What if there's a spirit on me? Who are you? And like, and then I
tap dancing
and then I think to myself, basically, like it's such a scary thing that happens when it happens. Like I think a bunch of thoughts that it's just like, basically whatever you do, don't think this, like which is basically stuff like, oh man, there's a spirit on top of me, whatever. Don't imagine like someone just whispering in your ear, I'm gonna kill you or something.
Yeah,
you know, and just
it could just be like fucking a demon couple just fucking doing doggy above you. Think about
aggressively,
that.
right?
Like boof, 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 boof. And like the head's doing the 360 spin.
And then the nights that like I have it more of, like he just can't bust because he drank too much.
Exactly.
The male devil or whatever.
Like, boo, 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 boo. And his head's doing like the 360 over and over and over again. Have you seen The Exorcism when they do that?
Yeah.
The first time I saw that, I got so scared.
I had a dream when I was in 6th grade that I was on this street called Hill Street. You know Hill Street?
Yes.
I was on Hill Street, and and the fucking girl from The Exorcist. It's a little girl, right?
Emily Rose.
Yeah, right. That was her name. And she said to me in my dream, like, the devil's always watching you. Like, you better watch out. Like this, that, and the other thing. And then I woke up, and I was terrified of like
Hill Street.
I was terrified of Hill Street. And I was terrified of like just the thought of like, oh man, like was that like the devil trying to tell me that he's always like watching me? Not on some psycho shit, on some like I'm only 12 years old. I had this dream and I'm just fucking scared. And I probably just believed in Santa Claus like two years before it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the reason why I bring up that it was Hill Street is because I learned from a buddy saying back then, in your subconscious, he didn't word it like this. He worded it like a kid, like. He said maybe you dreamt about it on Hill Street because if you replace the I with an E, it's Hell Street.
Mm.
And that's I feel like I actually think that's very true. To this day, I'm 26, and this happened when I was 12. You know, but I think it's the subconscious mind, though. You know what I mean? It's like my brain like being creative with fucking with me.
Right, dude. The brain's fucked.
I know. It's when you were talking about that dream about. It doesn't even matter what it was about, but you said that where you were was exactly the way it was when you were there,
Yeah.
and it's just like how do you have it so
perfectly remembered in my brain? Yeah.
Right.
Isn't it weird that our brain just fucking tripled in size over like a period of like since we've been alive and no one knows how?
I know.
It's fucked up.
I think it's fucking. Oh, dude. You know,
we're getting close.
I know. You should pause it real quick. I gotta pee.
All right.
All right. I've developed a little bit of a theory that like also isn't necessarily my own, but I have my own experience with like thinking it, whatever that means. But I genuinely believe that like humans when our brains. So back to what you said about that, like
how they
tripled in size, and no one understands like where the fuck that came from. I honestly believe that like UFOs, something from somewhere else, is the reason for it.
You think?
I think that. So okay, listen. So I was at the Museum of National History. Okay,
the one in New York.
Yes, Manhattan, and it has like everything that's fucking old as shit. Whether it's the woolly mammoth bones, long neck, fucking T-Rex bones, fucking very old things like extinct animals and
I've been there once.
Okay, so you know what it is.
Yes.
So they had these like little these little like art like clay like statue things, right?
I think you did tell me this.
I don't know if I told it on the podcast or if it was on.
I forget.
I don't think it was on the podcast.
No, I don't think it was either.
Okay, so I hope not, at least, because I'm going to tell it again.
I don't think you did.
So when I was there, I was with my buddy Keegan, who he's a teacher, and he's a
history teacher, right?
Right, yeah, and he's smart, he knows history.
You need to know that to be a history teacher.
And me and him were looking at these like little clay models that the first humans ever recorded made. So I don't know the details about these humans because he's a teacher. He knew all this stuff. Right. He's a history teacher. I just I was there and was listening. But these where was I?
The little clay like figure.
Yeah, they were by the first recorded humans. I don't know any details about those humans, right? But according to Keegan, he was like, see, these are the first recorded humans ever. Like the first people that
made these.
Right. That had written language, that had a language, had the alphabet. They had all this stuff that no one understands, how they learned, and out of nowhere they recorded their history.
Right.
Right. The first humans to do that. I was looking at little clay things that they made. And they were two little things, right? And they were next to each other. Without a doubt, this is what it looked like. I'm not gonna say it was this
stereotypical alien use, right?
It wasn't, and it didn't look like an alien, 100% alien, but it looked like a hybrid of a alien mixed with a human.
Like a big head.
But imagine it like a alien head, but with human characteristics also. So a nose and like right? And little other things. I don't remember the detail of it.
Fuck.
And so so then Keegan was he just goes, dude, those are aliens. That's what we're looking at. That's fucking alien. He wasn't saying that it was aliens or whatever, but he was saying this isn't a human. This isn't a human. Whatever this person was replicating, it wasn't. It was a human hybrid of some sort, and it just looked like a stereotypical alien. And ever since then, I thought it was fascinating that out of nowhere humans could just fucking do shit, basically record what they've done and have language and stuff, and the art that they made was it looked like this hybrid alien thing.
That's so fucked because if you think about it, first of all, obviously the brain thing, back to the original thing we were talking about. How does that happen? Scientists have been fucking looking into that since scientists have been a thing. They still don't know.
That makes it even more skeptical that it's something that is just we can't even believe. Something the reason is so mysterious that we're not going to be able to believe it.
It's beyond research.
If we ever do figure it out, it will be unbelievable.
Right. Right.
So that's why I'm kind of like thinking like after seeing that, I really think it was
It could
something
be.
else.
Because, dude, how else would the brain thing, and how else would we start talking?
Yeah.
How else would we start doing like very intelligent things?
Right.
Obviously, because the brain's bigger, but also those clay figures were fucking hybrid human aliens.
Yeah.
And the first recorded humans, air quotes around that, were the ones that recorded them. So I mean, I don't fucking know, man. You might be onto something. It's kind of scary. It's scary and like kind of it's too big of like a topic and subject to like. Because you could go forever.
I know.
Because you could just, your mind could keep going and going and going. And it's like, we don't know. We'll never know.
I know. And it's extra fucked up because when you're actually looking at something that the first recorded humans made, actually an original thing that they made, right? But a lot of years ago, it's a alien looking thing.
Right? Imagine if they just did a shit ton of fucking hallucinogenics and just made that.
They might have
because that's another theory.
Yeah,
It's like they started doing
the stoned ape theory.
They started doing like a fucking shit ton of mushrooms and like started getting creative and like started seeing shit, and then that's how they started doing it as well. Which I believe that too. I believe like hallucinogenics or fucking aliens, but I don't know. Name me another theory. Fucking, I want to hear it because I don't know. Literally, other than hallucinogenic drugs that make your mind go in crazy places, or fucking aliens coming out.
Because naturally, when things like evolve and shit, and I'm not an expert. If you're listening, I'm not an expert in this, but like it's the slowest process ever. Like it's
slow.
like ridiculously slow. So for that to just be out of nowhere. But then again, like, does that mean that if we all just ate mushrooms, right? Like that our brains are gonna like be bigger in 100 years?
True. I forgot about the brain thing again.
And it's just like, I don't know if that would be the case. Do you think that would be the case?
Yeah, because we evolved so quickly. Like the brain thing evolved way too quick.
Right. Like way too quick for something not to be planted.
Yeah, it's fucked.
And dude, there's I heard I don't remember where I heard
we're
this.
here right now doing this podcast because our brains are this big.
I know.
Like if you think about it.
We don't even use remotely 100% either.
No, if we did, we'd be fucking like flying around like Superman.
Dude, and I was watching. I forget who it was that said this, but he was like, there's 100 million, over 100 million stars out there, right? And over 100 million galaxies where those like stars are, because like there's only one star in our galaxy. It's the sun.
Well, it is a star. There's
Right.
a bunch of stars, right?
I don't know. Can you look that up? Just
There's one star in our galaxy.
I don't know. Definitely look that up. Well, because think about it though. Like if we'd be able to see them. Like
No, how many stars in a galaxy? It's like a fucking 100 billion. Like.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh well, that's even more. Okay, then that's what he was saying. So it's like there's 100
solar system.
He was saying that there's 100 billion, like over 100 billion galaxies. And there's over 100 billion. He must have said over 100 billion stars in every galaxy or something.
Right.
It's just like they're all suns. Like there's got to be planets around some of them, and with life.
There's definitely other shit going down.
Has to be.
Dude, it says like we only use like fucking
10% of our brain, 12%.
Yeah, like that low.
I know.
And it's like it's kind of a myth because it's up in the air, but we definitely don't know all of it. We definitely don't use all of it. That's fucking a fact.
How the fact that people have figured out like a lot of things about our body except our brain, and our brain's the most powerful fucking thing.
Have you ever seen a picture of what a brain looks like? It looks like fucking.
It's weird. Looks like something you would eat.
Yeah, it looks
You don't
like.
mean to sound like a zombie, but.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking like an intestine, like you know what I mean, like something crazy.
Yeah.
I almost said my brain looks like a brain, but like literally, it just looks so fucking weird. I mean, image of my brain is crazy, bro. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Image of a brain, and it's weird that you can find out a bunch about people and like what they did by just like looking at their brain.
I know, and
It looks like a bunch of. It looks like a squishy styrofoam thing with like little lines in it.
And it cuts like butter. If you have a fucking steak,
Really?
Because
Oh, you ate one?
No, I wonder what it would taste like. But no, I'm just kidding.
You need pig brain.
I was looking heavily into CTE stuff.
Oh, right.
And
Yeah, that's how I know. Like people cut into brains.
And they were showing the doctor like
cut a brain.
So they had an NFL brain, and she was like, "So we're gonna walk," and then she literally cut it like
It's probably a sharp ass knife too.
Wasn't like.
It wasn't like cutting a sirloin steak
at all. It was
just, like a doof.
It literally just went right through.
Like cutting ice cream.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Like somewhat melted.
Like
ice
a thawed out ice cream out of the fridge that you took off like 10 minutes and it just goes whoop.
Yes.
Wow. That is crazy.
Crazy. And then she's.
That's how soft our brain is, though.
Yeah, I know. And
we just fuck it up.
And then I know. And then she explains like, oh, this is where the CT and this person, these are signs of CT.
So this is the brain. This person has CT, and now I'm gonna fuck it.
You think somewhere out there, man, someone's like fucked a brain.
Dude, there's a guy. We'll end on this. There is a fucking guy. Watch this on Mindhunter on Netflix. There was a dude who the FBI hunted. He was a serial killer. He used to cut off the heads of people, and he would take the heads and he would fuck the heads through the neck. Yeah, dude. But someone went there in their headspace.
Yeah.
And their brain.
And I want to know. What I want to know.
What's going on in his fucking brain?
Well, that. And also I want to know, did he just have a fucked up life? Or was there something so chemically wrong he could have had the best life ever?
Both.
And there was just some... Right. But
when
it's
someone's
just
that fucked up, it's got to be like the perfect
But what
storm.
trauma, right? So say
it's like a Hurricane Katrina of fucked upness.
Correct. And it's also just like, what trauma would make you do that, though? There's some trauma like where if someone like,
if someone touched me in my asshole, I get fucking traumatized.
Yeah, I was listening to a homeless. Actually, I have an example from listening to an interview today. I was listening to a homeless guy be interviewed. I listened to like a lot of homeless guy interviews today. Went down that went down that rabbit hole. And this dude was talking about how he like has been homeless since he was like 11.
What?
Yeah, they all have the craziest stories.
Jesus.
And people would try to like fucking touch him and shit when he was sleeping. Right, like, and so he
outside.
Yeah, like, and he said he was abused and shit, like, and he said that like when people wake him up now, because like random people would like be trying to do weird things to him when he was sleeping, like on the street, like when people touch him like to wake him up, he fucking freaks the fuck out and like goes in this rage real quick, and then like we'll go back to bed, but it's like a PTSD thing.
That is fucked. You can get you can get a house on Amazon now. It's 3D printed for $4,000.
You can get a
3D printed home. A printer literally prints layers or layers and layers of shit, and it's a fucking home that you can live in. How crazy is that?
How much is it?
It's like $4,000.
Really?
I'm gonna fact check this, and we're gonna end on this right now.
Right.
I'm thinking it's $4,000. All right, so 3D home, Amazon.
3D home.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think this is it. Amazon price. Yeah, it was like, you can get this home today.
Making my way downtown, walking fast.
Home design 3D, free apps, total home design. What the fuck? I saw it on Instagram.
Oh, then it has to be true.
Fuck you. Well,
I'm just kidding.
I'll fact check it on the next one. Wait, hold on. I gotta find this out. Is there a 3D home? Is there a printed 3D home? Because there is, dude. I've seen it on like an actual show on TV. Is there 3D printed houses?
Bob Lazar said that when he was working on alien stuff that in the
it is the thing. How much is a 3D printed home? 4,000 to 10,000. See, that is a thing.
I might cop one.
I'm gonna fucking cop one and I'm gonna put it in your backyard.
Do you think that you could technically use it as a doghouse? Do you think it's that small?
No, there's like I'll show you a picture when we get off, but like there's fucking some decent sized ones, like bigger than this, probably like the size of the room, the studio room right now, right? And like 2 studio rooms of this.
But it's one room.
No, it's like separate. They like separated. It's like a bathroom, like a living room, like a bedroom.
Okay, so just calling it on record right now for sure. This is going to be a thing in the future somehow, some way.
They're gonna build fucking buildings 3D.
And I don't even mean in the sense of like with homeless. I just mean like there's going to be some 3D shit for way less money that people are going to like take advantage of.
Yeah. Dude, you can print a fucking... They're going to print artificial fucking organs 3D printing. That's like going to happen. They're already starting to do that. Isn't that fucked? You can print this microphone right now 3D. Dead ass.
It's so fucked up.
I know.
That's so fucking crazy. And that just became a thing also. I see. So I heard the sigh. Like, I know, like, you're about to, so we should wrap it up. I know that was coming, but here's the thing.
Pee really bad.
But here's the thing.
Bud Lights.
Yeah. But that's a recent thing also.
Oh, dude, 3D printing's like within the last 5 years.
That's going to expand a dick ton. And also, Bob Lazar, when he was working on alien spaceships, if you don't know who Bob Lazar is, look him up.
Look him up.
He fucking...
Huge cock.
He said back in the 80s, there was this thing that was on this thing that he didn't know how it worked. But now that 3D printing has become a thing, he sees it, he knows how it would work now, and it would be like...
So he predicted that in the 80s?
No. So in the 80s, he didn't know what this was.
Yeah, right.
But like now that time's gone on and 3D printing was invented, he says that the only thing I can have an idea of basically is that it's a 3D printer, like 3D printing related, and we just came up with that. And that kind of also goes back to my point, like maybe aliens made us because like maybe we're on the track to become, maybe they're us in the fucking way future, dude. Because in space, time gets bent and shit.
I know.
And fucking maybe way in the future, and we're chimps to them.
I think it all has to do with semen somehow.
Yeah, no, I'm sure their semen's different.
Yeah, hundo. Well, let's fucking get this, baby.
Longest episode
1, baby.
Longest episode so far. We're fucking...
I'll hold my pee for everyone, just so you know.
We're, you know what?
We're on YouTube now, though, like way more.
We're very much on YouTube.
Yeah, we're scaling back to 1 episode a week because I'm coaching fucking people on the weekend now. Coach Murphy. We're going to scale back to 2 after that. But just so you know...
I like how you just threw in Coach Murphy.
Yeah, I know. I signed out my emails, Coach Murphy. And, so 1 episode a week. Either going to be Wednesday, Thursdays. Schedule depending on me and Anna. But just so you know, that's what happened. That's statistically
speaking.
That's what happened, okay?
Adam_Lucy at Instagram. Fuck it. That's all you need really now.
Murph.17. I'm on Pornhub too. You can look me up. Peace.